Hey everybody, it's Tim again. So now I'd like to talk about using NIPPV, non-invasive positive pressure ventilation, for neonates. And so what we will do, I've got my baby here. We'll call her Brittany. I'm going to lay her here, and we're going to extubate and place her on NIPPV using the RAM cannula. And so what we do is we'll select in the bottom left-hand corner here where it has our mode. We'll select that. We'll select NIV at the top and then assist control. So it'll be NIV, assist control, pressure control. And then we'll put in our settings. A rate of 30 is usually pretty good to start with. You go up or down, but 30 is usually a pretty good place to start. Our total PAP is set by adding your PEEP to your pressure that's set. So my PEEP's at 5, my pressure set's at 15. So we'll start off with a pressure of 20, which is okay, reasonable. And you may go higher, maybe a little bit lower, but 20 is pretty reasonable. Eye time should always be set at 0.5. Sensitivity, because some interfaces are not occlusive devices, the RAM cannula is an occlusive device, and some occlusive devices develop leaks. So we'll adjust our sensitivity up so that the ventilator will not auto cycle. So we'll go ahead and bump that up to, let's say, 3. Our FiO2, again, we'll use the lowest FiO2 possible to maintain our patient within their SAGO ranges. Then you've got our peak pressure, our descents that we'll just leave where it's at. Our rise time we'll leave where it's at, and of course our PEEP's at 5. All right. So now I'm going to extubate the baby and put him on NIPPV. So my vent will alarm here just a second. I've got it turned down, but it will alarm for just a second here. I'm going to accept that. I'm extubating my baby, and I'm placing them on NIPPV. My circuit connects to the end of the RAM cannula just like that. So now we're on NIPPV. My vent did alarm for a little bit. I'm going to reset that. So now we're extubated and on non-invasive positive pressure ventilation. So now I want to check my alarms. So I'm going to hit the bell here and adjust my alarms. My peak pressure's at 40, we'll leave it there. High frequency 100, we'll leave it there. My high minute ventilation, we'll ramp it back up to 3. And we'll leave the low minute ventilation off, and the low tidal volumes, we'll leave all those off because this won't measure volumes in the non-invasive positive pressure ventilation mode, so we'll leave those off. So I hit accept. And it does measure some volumes, but it's not, the volumes measured are not accurate because we're using the RAM cannula. And so now we're non-invasive positive pressure ventilation on a rate of 30, 20 over 5, 30%. The baby can breathe above, faster than 30 if they want to, and they'll get the benefit of the CPAP. So that's non-invasive positive pressure ventilation. Pretty simple, pretty easy to use. A lot of times we'll extubate babies to NIPPV if we're concerned about periods of apnea, if they're really young. And then see how they do. So let's say we've extubated this baby to NIPPV. She's been on NIPPV for a little over a day, and she's tolerated well with not having any Brady's or DSAT episodes that require more than stimulation. So we think we may want to try CPAP. So we can try CPAP. Again, so in the lower left-hand corner here where your mode is at, select that. We'll go to CPAP. Dial in whatever CPAP that we want. Okay. If you go 2 above, it says large change in PEEP. Just acknowledge, say, yep, I know that. And you could go higher if you want to, okay? Let's just say we want 6. This right here is alarming to tell you apnea time is off, because a lot of times this in CPAP, because we're using an interface, it can't sense spontaneous respirations. So we'll leave that off and we'll accept all. And so now we're just in CPAP. And we'll look at our alarm settings. 40 and respiratory rate high, then all the others are grayed out. So now we're in CPAP of 6 and 30%. And we leave them on this and on the vent CPAP probably for a few hours just to make sure that they're going to tolerate CPAP and not need the NIPPV back. And after a few hours, if they tolerate this, then we can convert to bubble CPAP or another device. That way we won't have to use it. We can get this vent cleaned up and ready for the next intubated patient. Thank you.